Hello, 102ers. Can you believe we're entering week 4? It's almost the halfway point. I told you this summer would go really quickly, didn't I? For those of you who are actually watching these videos, I'm glad. Please drop me an email and let me know if you're getting anything out of them. If they're interesting, if they suck, I want to know so I can craft them a bit better towards your needs. I figure a straight informational video would just be torture, wouldn't it? So here we are in week 4, and we are well on our way to solidifying our topic and our ideas. As always, here's a reminder of the lovely and wordy announcement for the week. Please take the time to look through it, as all of the links that you see here are exactly what you need. After you're done that, go back to the main page, click on View the Course Schedule. It'll take you to, hey, shock of shocks, the course schedule. Scroll all the way down here to week number 4. See, week number 4. And you can see here that we have 2 documents and 1 assignment this week. It's a planning document. It's pretty straightforward, right? So let's jump right into it. First, under reading your sources, here we go. It's basically a rehash of something I've taught since the beginning, and I actually remember it being taught to me as early as junior high, the 3 stages of reading. It doesn't matter how you remember it or how it was taught to you. For example, it was always pre-reading, reading, and post-reading for me. But it falls into a very simple set of ideas. First, you want to skim over your material to see what jumps out at you. Preview. Oh, look, there it is. Preview your sources. Read the title, the author blurb that sometimes appears at the beginning of the article. Usually it's in smaller italicized font that you would probably ignore otherwise. And then notice all the bolding, the section headers, the inserts, and pretty much anything else that grabs your attention. By doing that, you'll have somewhat of an idea about what's coming, okay? So preview your sources. Ask these questions. Figure out what's going on before you dive into it. And when you do dive into it, you are now reading and annotating. So slow down. Really read it. Don't just run your eyes over the page and think about other things. Seriously, if you're not soaking it in, you're not reading. If you have to ask yourself, what in God's name did I just read at the end of the page because you were thinking of the pool party you're going to have, or how to get tickets to SummerSlam, or, whatever, the NBA championships. You might have been moving your eyes over the page, but you really weren't working your brain. This is the time where you need to do both. So this section is where you pay attention. Annotate or take notes. Ask questions. Highlight. Ask questions. Look things up. Ask questions. And, oh God, what was that other thing? Oh, that's right. Ask questions. The more questions you can ask yourself, the more you will actually look up. The more you look up, the better you will understand things. And then finally, when you understand everything, go over it again. Go over those questions that you were asking yourself and see if you have all the answers. If you have all the answers, fantastic. Come up with new questions. But if you don't have all the answers, look up the ones that you don't have answered yet. You're going to try to make sense of the things that you haven't quite grasped, which is fantastic. Those are the 3 stages of reading, regardless of how they are worded, and they will help you quite a bit. Okay? Down here, you can see more ways to synthesize and so forth, but we're actually going to cover that. It is what it is, right? So you can see this later, but honestly, I think we've covered it quite well, don't you? Okay, enough self-aggrandizing. Let's continue. For planning your comparative essay, there it is, and there it is. There are 5 expandable boxes. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Click on them, they expand, hence expandable. And they're there to attempt to direct you down the path of getting this thing right. Remember, the topic needs to be assertive, so you need to know the angle that you want to go in. That's this here, right? The direction you want to go in. Then you want to make sure that your audience sees that direction you're heading, and you are clearly moving in that direction by giving these pieces of relevant background information. You're going to have to go through and figure out all sorts of material to discuss. And honestly, this is not a straight informational paper. Once you remind yourself of the angle, you're going to want to ask one very important question to continue. Oh my God, no. You were all way too young to remember Who Let the Dogs Out. But it was everywhere in the early 2000s. I mean, good Lord on high. It was in television shows, movies, commercials. Old people were singing it. Young people were singing it. People were singing it that weren't American. Americans were singing it. It was all over the damn place. You could not escape it, no matter how hard you tried, and I really tried. No, the question I actually want you to ask is, if I was ignorant of this topic, what would I want to know in order to move forward? If I was not the writer of this paper, what would I want to see to make me understand what the writer understands? If you can help your reader get a little experience with your topic, you can guide them to the ideas that you feel are important. You can show them the evidence that makes the most sense and is relevant to your angle. And you can start to create your own world for them to walk in. That is writing, folks. Your world building. You want to read, you want your reader to forget their daily lives and live and breathe what you provide for them. I know that sounds deeply creepy and narcissistic, but think about the best books you've ever read. It's almost a letdown when you finish, isn't it? Now, we finish up with our only assignment for the week. It's a planning document that gets you interacting with your two news sources for this unit. You need to clearly illustrate the links between the two and how to deal with your topic. So the Unit 2 article selection and comparing author perspectives brainstorming. Oh, that's not it. This is it. This is the assignment. And as you can see here, there's a lot of rules. Make sure that you choose them from a database. Make sure that they are less than 5 years old, which means nothing older than January 1st, 2021. Okay? And you are going to click on this document here to open it up and fill it out. What's it look like? Why, it looks like this lovely thing. Okay? Honestly, the original wasn't terrible. It just didn't have a lot of really good stuff, so I kind of cleaned it up. Yeah, okay, I did it. But anyway, the needs are pretty clear. The first section, the first step is to illustrate the two sources that you found. 1, 2, right here. As you can see in this first box, I want to see the title and the link to the article. Title and link to the article. Title, link to the article. Title, link to the article, okay? Then give me the author or authors right here. Then the year of publication or update goes right here. You can't get much more easy than that, right? So, once we get that step 1 done, we go down to step 2, which is the part that usually confuses a lot of people. You're going to be looking at the exact same two sources that you found and kind of try to emulate the sample material here. As you can see, we put this material here in defensive binge watching. Problems caused by binge watching could go even deeper than previously thought. Oh, look, in defensive binge watching. Problems caused by binge watching could go even deeper than we previously thought. All that material goes in this top line right here, okay? Then I want you to come up with at least 3 questions that are answered by both sources. So each source defines what binge watching is. Great. This is what Cohen says. This is what Dodgson says. Each source tells me what the opinion of the author on binge watching is. Cohen's opinion is this. Dodgson's opinion is this. And then why do people binge watch? Okay, they gave reasons for it. As you can see, Cohen's first. Cohen gives these 3 reasons, and they are put in there and cited. And Dodgson gives this reason, and it is cited, okay? So these questions are answered in both sources. It's not just, well, Cohen answers this, but Dodgson's answers this one, and then Cohen. No. I want each question to be generated where both sources deal with it. And then you're going to give a really, really quick citation. Tell me where you got it from, okay? So this is what it should look like when you're done. I would like you to put your material right down here in this blank table, okay? List your questions out in this first column. In these two cells right here, you're going to put the list, a title, author, and link in both of them. And then you're going to answer these questions for each source right here, okay? It's honestly not all that difficult, but the majority of people who are going to struggle with this are the ones who are not watching the video, okay? So basically, I really want you to start thinking about both sides of your argument and how they really aren't as far apart as you think. The next step, which you will take next week, will be creating new ideas from those concepts, and that's synthesis. Remember the Lego talk we had last week? Excellent. You do care. That's so sweet. Not a long video, under 12 minutes. It's not a very exhausting week. It's sort of nice to being able to catch up and have an easy week after a paper, isn't it? As always, whatever I can do to help, please reach out early. Do not reach out after the due date. Do not reach out the night of the due date. Once this is submitted, you can binge watch until your butt hurts, but until it's submitted, get on it. Have a great week and enjoy the weather.